In this module, we will unpack and provide an engaging activity for World History Standard 22, Globalization in the Contemporary World. In this module, we will focus solely on Element A, describe cultural and intellectual integration of countries in the world economy through the development of television, satellites, and computers. Element A is not about globalization from an economic or political perspective. We will delve into economic and political globalization in a separate module. Globalization is a process of interaction and integration among the people, companies, and governments of different nations, a process driven by international trade and investment and aided by information technology. This definition is defined by Globalization 101. World history teachers often feel compelled to teach globalization from the American perspective. In this module, we will take a look at globalization through the lens of technology, including television, satellites, and computers. Students must understand that cultural integration is the integration of cultural norms, customs, and traditions from around the world. This can include fashion, foods, and even fast food chains. Remind students that culture is one of our recurring themes in world history. Culture can be defined as the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. The culture of a society is the product of the religion, beliefs, customs, traditions, and government of that society. With the advent of technology, many cultures have become globalized and can be observed in various locations across the globe. This image of a Greek ruin superimposed with McDonald's is a great example of cultural integration. McDonald's is one multinational corporation that can be found at minimum on every continent. What is served at each McDonald's, however, depends on the specific culture of the specific region. Students must understand that intellectual integration is possible because corporations and organizations have the capability to communicate using television, computers, and satellites. Students in the United States have the ability to communicate with students in Japan from the comfort of their own home. Researchers can collaborate to produce a new treatment for roundworm parasites without ever meeting face-to-face. Our instructional activity for this module is known as Mystery Classroom. Mystery Classroom is a critical thinking activity that allows your class to interview another class somewhere else in the world. The goal of this challenge is to guess the other school's location before they guess yours. Students engage in this activity by asking yes or no questions. Once the location is revealed, each class then becomes visible to the other class. Getting started. Use the internet search browser of your choice to search Mystery Skype or check out Skype in the classroom. You may also choose to search using Google Hangouts in the classroom. Next, you'll want to find a companion classroom. There are plenty of eager participants out there. They can be found through Google, Skype, or the United States Department of Education's Teacher's Guide to International Collaboration. As secondary educators, we are compelled to find resources and collaborative opportunities by grade level. For the sake of this activity, grade level does not matter. An upper elementary grade, like 4th or 5th, or middle grades companion classroom would work splendidly. Once you've found your companion classroom, then you'll want to select a date and time for the classroom exchange to take place. For this activity, you will need a webcam with a microphone, a Skype account or Google Hangout capability. If Skype is blocked at your school, try using Google Hangouts. If Google is blocked at your school, try using Skype. You will want to establish several student roles. We need greeters, inquirers, answerers, think tanks, question keepers, Google mappers, Atlas mappers, clue keepers, runners, photographers, videographers, clue markers, problem solvers, and closers. Remember, in a cooperative learning environment, students actually have roles and participate actively in the activity at hand. For descriptions on what each student role involves, visit one of the Google Classroom or Mystery Skype resources for additional information. Once you sign up for a program like Mystery Skype or Google Hangout, step-by-step directions will be provided for you. You will want to follow these tips for success prior to engaging with your mystery or companion classroom. Have a webcam with microphone ready. If you do not have a webcam or microphone in your classroom, work with your media specialist, instructional technology lead, and other school and district personnel to find these items in your school or district. Don't forget to do a test call to make sure that your technology is working. Explain to your students by saying, we're going to play a game, we're going to engage in an activity, but we are on a mission. We have to find out where this mystery class is calling us from. It can be from anywhere in the world, but we can only ask yes or no questions. The class, in turn, will be trying to figure out where we are located. The Skype or Hangout session should take about 45 minutes. You'll want to select a classroom that is located outside of the United States because the purpose of this activity is to allow students to see examples of cultural and intellectual integration in real time. At the end of the mystery classroom activity, you will need to debrief with your students. Review questions that were asked by your students and the questions that were received by your students. Ask students if there are any additional questions. Remember that at the end of the question and answer session, the companion classroom will reveal itself to your classroom. Once you have reviewed the process and reviewed the initial questions, begin questioning students about the mystery location in the companion classroom. Some questions you'll want to ask are, what were the driving factors of our questions? What did you notice about the students in our companion classroom? How are you like the students in the companion classroom? How was this activity made possible? You'll want to point out the use of technology and really focus on satellites, computers, and even televisions. Be sure to chart student responses. Then you will make lesson connections for students. Explain to students that improvements in transportation and communication technologies dramatically reduced economic, political, and cultural isolation. As a result, substantial uniformity was produced across the globe. Your students may have pointed out that they might be dressed similarly to students in that companion classroom. They may use similar slang to students in that classroom. Did your classroom look like the classroom across the globe, and so on and so forth? The similarities between your classroom and the companion classroom are in fact the result of cultural and intellectual integration through globalization. Our task, again, was made possible due to the development of television, satellites, and computers. Without them, this activity would not have been possible. After debriefing with students, allow them to reflect on the following prompt. How else might our lives be limited if these phenomena did not exist? Student responses should include discussion examples of cultural and intellectual integration, international phenomena, and causes and effects of cultural and intellectual globalization. Students should be able to develop a sound argument. As we wrap up this module, please consider the following concluding thoughts. Standard SSWH22 is a deep standard that will require multiple opportunities for building connections between areas of study throughout the world history course and examples in the modern world. Remember to utilize Georgia Department of Education curriculum resources like the World History Teacher Notes to support your work with students. Resources can be found online, on Facebook, and on Twitter.